Hey, welcome back to the show. Do not forget to check out our YouTube channel for more episodes of Right on the Money, where we discuss financial topics with advisors and fiduciaries right there in your area. Now, our guest today, Nick Bour, founder and CEO of Inspire Wealth. Nick, great episode so far.
Really enjoying being here. Thanks for having me.
It is a treat. And it's a treat because we're talking about a topic that we've never had on the show. So IRMAA, income-related monthly adjustment amount.
Correct.
This affects everybody when it comes to looking at how much more, it's a surcharge, how much more may you have to pay the government. I can't imagine many people like that thought. We talked about understanding the basics. We talked about how it's calculated. So now we're going to talk strategies and solutions for managing it, because this is an ongoing event in someone's life.
It is.
And there are, thank goodness, there are some strategies here. But so what would be some common life-changing events that allow someone to actually appeal their charge?
So one would be cutting back their hours at work. So I was full-time, now I'm part-time. So now 2 years ago, I was full-time, earning $250,000 a year as a married couple. And I would have, I'm at risk for IRMAA because I'm over the 206.
Sure.
But now I'm retired. Well, okay, we can definitely appeal that. Or I cut back, now I only work 25 hours a week and now I'm only earning 120. Okay, well, we can definitely appeal that. So those are things that the most common one is retirement or cutting back work schedule.
Sure.
There's others, selling a property and incurring a big capital gains in 1 year. Okay, filing an appeal for an exception to say that was that year. I currently don't have that property, or I didn't incur that capital gain just in that 1 year. That's another appeal we can do. So there's definitely some different planning
that can be done.
What
about near retirement? Since there's the 2 year, what would be the 2 year look forward? 2 year look back? How does Roth Conversions play in?
So it definitely plays in. And it's interesting that you bring that up, because a lot of clients that are starting to become more aware of IRMAA, that's one of their considerations when we're doing planning is, well, I don't want to pay IRMAA if I don't have to. And depending on their overall situation, sometimes it makes sense to pay IRMAA for 1 year to be able to never have an IRMAA issue ever again based on current projections in law. Mm-hmm. So, and that's really where, again, just like if your current team's not talking tax planning or IRMAA as part of this, integrating it is really important. We've done some events that are educating the community on Medicare and IRMAA, and one of the biggest takeaways I think I always have is I get more CPAs that come up to me after the event saying, this is for me personally, and I really need help with Social Security planning and with the IRMAA planning, because being a CPA, I have a good idea for taxes.
Sure.
But I don't really fully understand the IRMAA planning piece of it.
I've always felt that CPAs are magnificent chroniclers of the past.
Yes.
When it comes to taxes, they're not strategy wise. So one thing that I find interesting that it just dawned on me is, this is why you do need to work with a financial planner, because really setting the table up properly, it's got to start years in advance.
So yeah, a lot of the clients we're starting to talk with IRMAA planning about is at least 3 years before projected retirement,
sure,
but even as much as 10. And the reason why is because we have more time to prepare so that we don't incur any 1 year of Medicare IRMAA surcharges. Yeah. Because we've done the planning 3 years, 5 years, 10 years before. And really, it all comes down to asset positioning and where you're going to pull your income from.
Somebody who's watching the show, is there anything they should be aware of when structuring their income to avoid any gotchas?
Making sure you have balance in where your income's coming from and how is it calculated from a tax perspective. One example is most consumers don't fully understand how Social Security is counted for earned income.
Oh, that's a good one.
Social Security is provisional income, and most people have never heard that term. So that is an example of looking at where your income's coming from and how is it calculated. So example, Social Security, pension, earned income, your pre-tax retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, that is also earned income. Roth, not earned income. Non-retirement accounts, capital gains only on the sale of an unappreciated or untaxed asset. When we talk about how and if you're going to be impacted by IRMAA, it starts with how much income are you going to have from this bucket? How much income are you going to have from this bucket? How much income are you going to have from Social Security, from pension? That's where we put together the income plan to mitigate or eliminate IRMAA surcharges.
You know, I think having those conversations around taxation and trying to be as intentional and straightforward as you can be is so important, because no matter where, you know, we're at such a polarized time in our history, but no matter where you're at, which way you go, you just can't deny that there's a lot of things that got to get paid for, and that's how they're going to get paid for.
Absolutely.
Now, the other thing, folks, if you've been watching this episode, and you please go back, watch the other two, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your retirement for it to be successful. One thing you're going to walk away with is the fact that this is not a do-it-yourselfer. This is not watch this video and then you go out and do the calculations. You need help with this one. And I don't know that I've ever said that on the show before. So we're going to put your information on the screen. And from what I've learned is that there's calculators. You have the ability, there's educational material, and there's even the ability to click a link to schedule time just to have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Did I miss anything on that?
You did not.
All right, I got it. Folks, this has been a very impactful episode.
Really happy to be here. I'm glad you invited me, and hopefully the audience and the listeners really find value in what I was able to go over.
Oh, you dropped knowledge bombs, sir. So Nick, thanks for being here. Folks, do not forget that you can watch full Right on the Money Show episodes on our official YouTube channel or at rightonthemoneyshow.com. That's the spot where you can get up-to-date financial news and insights from the top insurance and financial professionals in your area. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.